You should divorce your husband immediately." "What?" She said that and showed me a footage on a surveillance camera. This is... I was shocked when I saw the footage. For a moment, I even forgot to breathe. I can't forgive this. I mean, who could? How they can deceive me like this? I felt the anger welled up within me. That's when I promised myself that I will definitely get revenge. My name is Amber, a 39-year-old office worker. I've been married to my husband Erwin for 10 years. We had been living harmoniously as a working couple, earning a stable income. Since the marriage, we had trouble conceiving a child. Our married life hasn't been easy. There have been challenges besides the issue of having children. It happened unexpectedly. My husband was diagnosed with early-onset dementia about a year ago. At first, it was just forgetting things when we went out together. I thought he was just absent-minded. But then he started forgetting how to drive or even forgetting to go to work. And things became more unsettling. Eventually, he started asking me if dinner was ready right after we finished eating, or if the bath was ready every few minutes. Of course, it also affected his work. Because of that, I decided to have him undergo a test. I consulted Carrie, my close friend since middle school. She's a nurse, so I thought she might have some knowledge about dementia testing. She immediately arranged for her acquaintance, a doctor, to see my husband. After the examination, it was confirmed that he had early-onset dementia. I was speechless and filled with despair. I didn't know what to do or what to say. Of course, my husband is not at fault. Thinking that, I regained my strength moving forward. We have to overcome this together as a couple. I made up my mind that I would become the pillar of the family from now on. Since then, I have been working desperately. My husband quit his job. We arranged for caregiving service for him during the day. If you give it your all, you'll get results. In this past year, I was promoted to department manager. My salary increased significantly, and I could easily afford the cost of my husband's care. During that time, the hospital where we used to go for regular checkups closed down. I wasn't sure why, but rumor has it that it was mismanagement, embezzlement. Whatever the case, I wasn't sure. Carrie had referred to this hospital. I was at a loss. I was pretty disappointed because my husband and I were just getting used to this hospital. Besides, I had to find another good hospital for my husband's examination. I was also getting pretty busy at work, so I was always on edge. I didn't want to bother Carrie again, so I couldn't talk to her about it. Spending each day with a sense of urgency, my husband's symptoms seemed to be getting worse day by day. I felt like suffocating every morning when I woke up. At that time, I received a message from my best friend Sarah, who had returned to the country saying she wanted to meet. It was like a helping hand. Just the fact that I can meet someone I can talk to. Amber! Long time no see, honey. Sarah, here. Good to see you. You've got a Latina vibe going on, huh? Huh, really? I've been living with my Brazilian boyfriend for a while, so maybe that's why. We broke up a couple months ago, though. Oh, sorry, honey. No, I'm okay, really. Besides, I was invited to work at a university hospital here, so I decided to come back. Sarah is a doctor and has been moving around overseas. Sarah and I grew up almost like sisters because we lived next door to each other when we were kids. We were both only child, so we were always together at school and after school. Growing up, Sarah was like my family to me, and I could talk to her about anything. We would often stay up late talking about boyfriends, schoolwork, and such. When I was in high school, her family moved away and we didn't see each other as much as we used to, but our friendship continued. This was the first time in a few years since we last met each other, and I was very excited. After catching up for a while, I told Sarah about my husband's situation. I see. If you were looking for a hospital for regular checkups, how about the one where I work? I can introduce you to a good doctor. Really? That would be incredibly helpful. Please, I'd appreciate it. A few days later, Sarah sent the necessary documents to my house. Erwin, from now on, we'll be doing our regular checkups here, okay? I said that and placed the documents in front of my husband. For a brief moment, I noticed a surprised expression on his face. I felt a slight sense of unease, but I didn't pay too much attention to it, and I took my husband to the hospital. Wait, Carrie? Amber? What are you doing here? Does this happen to be your workplace? I asked Carrie, who was wearing a nurse's uniform. Yes. Didn't I tell you? I work at this university hospital. Oh, I see. What a coincidence, huh? Having two friends and trustworthy friends working at the same hospital is reassuring. By the way, it seems like the hospital I told you has closed down. I'm sorry about that. Oh, it's okay. Don't worry about that. So, how is your husband doing? Well, for now, he's stable. That's good. Well, I'll take him to the examination room, since I'll be the one attending to him. Okay, thank you. Carrie said that and headed to the examination room with my husband. I decided to go to the nearby cafe to pass the time. Amber? I turned around and saw Sarah standing there. Oh, hey, Sarah. Sarah, you look great in a white coat. It's the first time I've ever seen you like this. But it suits you. Despite my comment, Sarah had a stern expression on her face for some reason. Then she suddenly said something unexpected to me. Amber, you should divorce your husband immediately. Huh? Why all of a sudden? What do you mean by saying we should get a divorce? I don't understand at all. What do you mean? I mean, why should I? Yeah, you see, actually, I saw it. You saw? So what? Your husband. I saw the nurse and your husband going into a room that only authorized personnel can enter. Nurse? Oh, you mean Carrie? Anyway, I didn't recognize her. But it's not a place for taking patients, so I got curious and followed them. I couldn't see much inside, but I could hear their voices. Well, you know, those two seem to be having a, intimate relationship. But what? That's... No. Because Erwin has dementia. And that nurse is my close friend. Huh? In fact, Sarah and Carrie don't know about each other. Hey, Amber, is it true that your husband has dementia? What? There have been cases where they pretended to have one, you know? It happens more often than you think. I couldn't believe her words. Could it be that everything was just an act? But I couldn't imagine Sarah, the doctor, lying. And she had no reason to lie to me. I didn't know what to believe anymore. Sarah said she would keep an eye on things and went back to work. After a while, Carrie and my husband returned. We're done with the regular checkups. I'll mail you the documents later. Oh, okay. From then on, I spent my days feeling unsettled. I even confirmed with the caregiver, who mentioned that my husband indeed showed symptoms and made remarks consistent with dementia. However, at that moment, the caregiver seemed to remember something. Oh, now that I think about it, when I arrived at your house, your husband was on the phone. The way he was speaking was very clear and confident. I see. Thank you for letting me know. As my doubts grew stronger, I received a call from Sarah. I immediately went to the cafe she mentioned. "Take a look at this." Saying that, she showed me a video captured by a surveillance camera. This can't be true. Watching the footage, I was shocked. It showed Carrie and my husband engaging in intimate acts in various rooms of the hospital. It was making rumor recently. There were reports of rooms being found dirty, even though they were supposed to be cleaned. So, I reported it to the police, saying it might be a case of foul play. I managed to get access to the surveillance footage. I'm sorry for showing you this kind of video. No, I appreciate it. You've given me solid evidence. With this, I have no more doubts. I was filled with anger towards my husband and Carrie. After that, I immediately consulted with a lawyer. With more than enough evidence in hand, it seemed like I would have the upper hand in the divorce. Once everything was prepared, I took my husband to the hospital and led him to the prepared room. Of course, I invited Carrie there too. This is the lawyer I hired for this matter. As I said that, Carrie and my husband next to her were both shocked. Then the door to the room opened, and Sarah walked in. "Wait, doctor? Why are you here?" Carrie wondered why Sarah had entered, sounding puzzled. "Amber is my high school friend. I know about you two having an affair." What? What are you talking about?" "Well, unfortunately, the two of you have no room for defense." Saying that, the lawyer played the video. Carrie panicked, and my husband was sweating profusely. "You've been deceiving me all this time." "I must say, Erwin, your acting skills are impressive." As I said that, Sarah chimed in. "We have evidence that you've been pretending to have dementia. Carrie, you introduced Amber to a privately owned hospital with a shady doctor, right? You probably manipulated something, creating a false result that Erwin has dementia." Carrie struggled to find words. Then, realizing there was no escape, my husband suddenly began speaking clearly. Wait, sorry. I admit I messed up. I apologize, but please, don't divorce me." "What? You're joking, right? I will definitely divorce you, and you will pay alimony. Moreover, engaging in such acts in a hospital room multiple times, both of you will likely face fines." This can't be. "Carrie, was it? What on earth are you doing in a sacred place where lives are dealt with? Have some shame." "I've already reported this to the hospital director. You're getting fired for sure." Carrie and my husband turned pale and bowed their heads in shame. Afterward, I officially finalized the divorce with my husband and pursued alimony from both him and Carrie. My husband tried to rely on his family, but they were furious at him for pretending to have dementia and cut off all contact. Now he lives in a run-down apartment, working temporarily jobs to slowly pay off the alimony. Carrie is in a similar situation, being estranged from her family and unable to find employment at any hospital. However, they brought this upon themselves, so there is no room for sympathy. I later found out that they had been involved in a relationship for several years. Carrie, who fell in love with Erwin at our wedding, had secretly continued to seduce him. And Erwin didn't seem to have any qualms about indulging in the attention. But their secret, thrilling relationship quickly came to an end once the downfall began after the divorce. I hope they will pay the price for what they have done for the rest of their lives. On the other hand, I moved to a condo near my workplace and started a new life. Being single now, I can save a considerable amount of money. I've grown weary of love and relationship for a while. I'm grateful to Sarah, who came to my rescue during the crisis. As two financially stable single women, perhaps we'll go on a trip together and indulge in luxury.